In my previous video, I shared how my brother's brutally honest feedback about my tendency to interrupt opened my eyes to the communication challenges many of us with ADHD face. It's got me thinking about ways our non-ADHD peers can support us in achieving more effective communication, and hopefully alleviate frustrations on both sides. First, it's important to understand that when we interrupt or jump in with our own stories, we're not trying to be rude. Our brains are constantly firing with new ideas and connections, and sometimes we just need to get those thoughts out. If this happens, a simple acknowledgement can go a long way. You might say something like, "Thanks for sharing that thought. Let's come back to it once I've finished this point." This validates our contribution while keeping the conversation on track. In personal conversations, our interruptions often stem from a desire to show we're listening and to show how we relate. If your ADHD friend jumps in with a similar story while you're talking, try something like, "I appreciate you sharing that, and I definitely want to hear more, but I'm afraid I might lose my train of thought. Is it okay if I finish my story first, and then we can come back to yours?" Most of us will appreciate your honesty and be happy to listen. We definitely understand the fear of losing our train of thought. That's probably why we interrupted you. When it comes to group discussions or meetings, providing structure and visual aids can be a real breakthrough. Instead of relying solely on verbal communication, try using a collaborative whiteboard app like Microsoft Whiteboard or LucidSpark. These tools allow everyone to contribute their ideas in real time without interrupting the flow of conversation. If a whiteboard app isn't available, a shared document can work well too. Just be sure to put some forethought into the structure so it can capture disparate thoughts and ideas. Another key strategy is to provide clear written summaries after meetings, including action items and deadlines. This helps us stay on track and ensures everyone is on the same page. If you notice your ADHD colleague or loved one struggling to follow through, a gentle reminder or check-in can make a big difference. Above all, remember that open, honest communication is key. Don't be afraid to ask us what we need to feel supported and engaged. Let's be real. A lot of the time, we might not have a clear answer. We've spent so much of our lives trying to conform to neurotypical standards and telling ourselves we just need to try harder. We're not used to people asking us what we need, and we may not even know ourselves. But by starting these conversations and showing a willingness to try new strategies, you could be the catalyst that helps discover what truly works for us. Your support and advocacy could be the turning point that empowers us to embrace our unique strengths and thrive in both our personal and professional lives. Every ADHD brain is different, and what works for one person may not work for another. But by having these open, honest dialogues and being willing to experiment with different approaches, you're sending a powerful message that our contributions matter, that our needs are valid, and that you're invested in helping us succeed. As someone with ADHD, I can't tell you what your understanding and support means. When my colleagues and loved ones take the time to learn about my unique challenges and strengths, it makes me feel seen, heard, and empowered to bring my best self to the table. To all the non-ADHD folks out there, thank you for being our allies and advocates. So try that and follow me.